Today we're going to cover just the new rules for Call of Kilforth. So if you are a Kilforth veteran, if you are familiar with how to play Gloom or Shadows, this is the video for you. This is just covering the two new things that have been added to the game. That's going to be resources and pirate ships. Both of these are optional modules that you can include or exclude from the game. So let's first talk about the resources. The resources are going to start on the map, and mountains are always going to have metal. Plains are always going to have stone. Forests are always going to have wood. And then just off camera here, because they're all on the exterior, oceans are always going to have food. Now, if you want to play with the resource module in Gloom or Shadows, you simply put the food on the Badlands locations. Oceans essentially have replaced Badlands locations in this game, so you can still do that. If you are not playing with the ships module, you simply take a action to gather a resource that is at your location. You keep it near your player board, and then you can spend said resource for various things throughout the game, giving you a little bonus. So, and it takes an action to gather. It does not take an action to spend. Food, you can discard to heal 1 HP. This can be yourself, or if you're sharing a space with another hero, you can heal them up. Wood can be used to discard an obstacle. Obstacles are going to appear as these little white cloud tokens. So you can use wood to discard an obstacle, or if you're playing with the ships module, you can fix your ship. Your ship is a very simple card that's just a two-sided affair. Your main side here, and this is what you can attack with, and then anytime you take any amount of damage with your ship, it goes to its damage side, but you can simply spend a wood to fix it, and that is a deed action, so it's free to take. Stone, basically you can turn in a stone for 1 gold at any given point, and then metal, you can turn in metal to gain a power token. Now it mentions that there might be some cards that might give you wood or stone or metal or things like that, or food, and there might be some cards that reference that. For example, this card here, pay 1 wood, 2 stone, 1 food, and 1 metal to place out the Legion Outpost. And if we come back to the Legion Outpost card here, it tells us that this location is essentially a safe location. So we always know that we can go there without encounters being drawn. We can pass through it easily. And you know, for some reason we place this where the Ancient's going to come out, it's going to have to relocate to an adjacent location. So it essentially becomes a safe location for us. But that just gives you something to do with your resources. All right, resources aside, ships module. Now it says that if you're playing with the ships module, you need to play with the resources. I feel like you could play without them, but you know, it makes life a little easier to have wood at your disposal. So in the ships module, you essentially control, like we said, a galleon. Your galleon has some actions and deeds it can take. We're going to talk about those in a second. But the main thing is here is that it has a base of 2 power, and then you can increase that power by adding tokens to it to a max of 3. So you can get up to a total of 5 power. Simply put, if you are in the same location, if your hero pawn is in the same location as another ship that you want to attack and take out, as long as your power is equal to or higher than the power listed on these ship tokens, then you will take it out and you will gain the benefit on the backside. For example, this one would allow you to relocate to any forest location. Now you'll notice that there are some ships out here with a value higher than 6. Well, that's because there are going to be cards that you can gain to increase the base value of your galleon. All right. So all the galleon or all the ship module is adding is a just kind of a new thing to interact with on the map, an additional thing to interact with on the map, but also a way to gain little mini bonuses from defeating said ships. Now, as with Shadows of Kilforth, you were asked to choose a faction at the beginning of the game, and sometimes the race or class you choose is going to tell you which faction you start with. In this case, my class told me to be allied with the Blue Drakes. So I'm allied with the Blue Drakes. So all Blue Drake ships, which there's one right here, for example, you can see it's a little small, but we don't want to cover up the artwork too much. This is a Blue Drake ship. I can easily pass through spaces with this Blue Drake ship and no problem. I can also take a market action by spending a single gold and an action point to take a market action at the location with the Blue Drakes. I'm bartering and trading with them. Now, my rival faction here, the Sea Dogs, I have to pretty much fight them. I can pass through them, but if I ever end my turn in the location with the Sea Dogs, they're going to attack me. I'm going to take 1 HP damage to my hero, and my ship is going to go from ready to wrecked. There's 2 other factions here. I think it's like the Crimson Knights and the I honestly can't remember what their names are, but these are the 2 factions in Shadows of Kilforth. So if you are playing as the Blue Drakes, these 2 factions are neutral. You can't trade with them, but they're also not going to harm you. You can pass through their locations, no problem. But at any point in time, you can attack these ships to gain what's on the back. You can even attack people who are allied with you. To my knowledge, there's no immediate penalty for attacking your own allied ships, but there might be on a certain card, we don't know. Also, certain cards will allow you to change your affiliation. So if you're ever curious as to, oh wait, who am I friendly with and who is directly opposed to me as far as ships are concerned, you look at your affiliation chip, and the other side is your rival. So this is the Sea Dogs, and it is, I remember now, the Doom Guard here and the Rosen Knights, not the Crimson Knights, are the red ones. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to place out all of these ship tokens. There's an equal amount of each type of ship. You're going to place them everywhere except the center location, the city or port location. And then you kind of have to imagine that your player is sailing around on their galleon throughout the game, represented by this card. Now, since we're playing with the ship module, we have some additional actions and deeds we can take with the ship. The first one is repairing the ship. So as a deed, we can spend a wood to fix the ship. We flip it from its wrecked side to its readied side. All right. You can also spend an action, and both of these are listed on the wrecked side of the card, because this is pretty much the only thing you can do if your ship is wrecked. You can spend a full action to repair, flip this card. So if you don't have a wood, don't fret. You can still flip the card over, but it takes you a full action. Or you can do a deed, which is a free action, and discard 1 wood to flip this card. Okay. If for some reason you choose not to flip your card and then take another defeat, you will lose the game. So here on this side, we can see the additional actions and deeds we can take when our ship is in the readied state. So as an action, we can load cannons. That essentially means we gain 1 power token. We put it up here. Remember, we can have a max of 3 tokens up here. Also, we could trade in a medal at some point to gain 1 of those power tokens. We can also, as a free action, we can attack another ship. So it doesn't take up one of your actions to go after someone else that's in your space. And then last but not least, you can always take a free action to sail and gain 1 move AP. Now you'll notice both of these say veil after them. Veil is Kilforth's term for exhausting the card, turning it sideways. So you could not sink a ship and use it for an additional move action point in the same turn. But those are your choices for the additional actions that you gain by simply playing with the ship's module. Other than that, once a ship is off the board, it's not going to come back. And like I said, there are ways to increase the base of your ship. There's also allies and things like that who might give you the ability to take out ships for free. So again, this is just a module that gives you more things to interact with on the board, similar to resources. In some terms, it makes you spend your action points to interact with them. But for the most part, sinking them, things like that, it does pose a risk. You have to kind of stay away. Like I need to be careful about traveling through teal eaves and soaring peaks early on at the beginning of the game, because I need to make sure I don't get stuck there, because then they're going to attack me, they're going to damage my ship, and I'm going to have to spend some time in the next turn repairing my ship. So it just slows me down. But it's nice having that additional move action point at your command, and it also feels very thematic in playing with the ocean cards, that you're on a galleon, especially when you take that shortcut that takes you from one ocean to any other ocean. Other than that, Call of Kilforth plays exactly the same as Gloom of Kilforth does and Shadows of Kilforth. So if you're familiar with that game, hopefully this rules overview of the 2 new things added, the 2 new modules added, will help you get started. And again, you can choose to play without the resources and the ships. The resources are very easy to add in. Simply gather action and then spend them at your leisure. The ships module takes a little bit more to get into, but again, if you're familiar with the game, it should be pretty easy to include in your next game of Call of Kilforth. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.